Hello everyone, welcome to AvgJoeWatchReviews. Today we're going to be looking at the Citizen EcoDrive model BM8471-01E as an EcoDrive. And guys, before we get started on this review, please do me one huge favor and subscribe to the channel, and also if you can, hit that notification bell. It really helps to support the channel when you guys subscribe, and helps me to continue to produce quality content. So if you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. So let's dive right into the review. Alright, so let's dive into the features of this Citizen EcoDrive. This is inspired by the military field watch. And right away you could see this really aggressive knurled crown. Really nice. I think this really gives the aesthetics of a really rugged watch, and I think it does a really good job at that. The other thing that I noticed right away about this watch is the fact that it has a really satin look to it. And I have a love-hate relationship with that, because as nice as it looks, okay, it's very unique. It does show when it does get nicked up, as you can see right there at the lug. And then I think it shows more so than if it was actually polished and got scratched. So I'm questioning a little bit of the durability of a field watch, because a field watch should have high durability. And I mean, obviously the case itself is stainless steel. But when I say durability, I'm talking about just the aesthetics or the look of it. I think this thing is going to hold up just fine. But if you have problems with nicking up your case, this might be an issue for you. Alright, so if we look past that, if we take a look at the Caseback itself, that is a high polish stainless, and as you can see up against the satin, there's definitely a contrast. But as you can see here, this watch is indeed water resistant up to 10 bar, which is 330 feet of water resistance. This does have the Japanese EcoDrive. I think Citizen owns the solar technology by far. So this watch needs sunlight. A lot of people are misunderstood, or they misunderstand the technology here, that they think that you just need a light bulb. No, this needs actual sunlight in order to be charged. So definitely, guys, keep this in your windowsill for a couple days out of the month and you'll be just fine. Or if you just wear it on a daily basis, you'll be just fine as well. Now, if we take a look at the dial itself, I think you may have noticed, if you haven't noticed already, that there is indeed a faint pattern in the center of the dial here. And if I put it in certain lights here, it's like a very faint red. And if I can flash even the flashlight on it, you may be able to see it. Yeah, take a look at the center. It almost looks like four pieces of a pie right there. Take a look at that. See that? There's 4 quadrants there. If anyone knows what that is, or if it's just simply a design, but it's very faint. But in certain lights, though, I actually noticed it a lot more than others. So if anyone knows what that is, I mean, it would be really cool if it was actually a indicator of it being fully charged or not. But I don't think that's it, though. But if anyone knows what that is, please comment below, and you guys can definitely teach me something for sure. But if we take a look at the numerals here, they're all highly luminescent. They're not a super luminova, even though like the pictures make it look like it. I'm going to run a picture across the screen now. Really excellent lume at this price point. All right, it's not super luminova, and if it is, it's not multiple layers, because even though it does have the look of super luminova, it's not going to last you a full night of a charge. But it is definitely better than a typical Citizen lume or any watch in this price point. If you guys click below, there's actually a link. This watch is currently half off of its original price, or should I say its manufacturer. So guys, if you click below, there's actually a good deal on Amazon currently where they're selling it for half off retail. So this watch can be had for just over $100 currently. So I'm finding this watch to be a tremendous bargain. As you saw, the lume was excellent. It lasts, for me, I had this watch fully charged in sunlight, and even a half hour later, I was still able to see the numerals, which in typical lume at this price point, you're not going to see anything after even 10 minutes. So this one is definitely above normal for sure. The Citizen logo and the EcoDrive is printed on the case. The other feature of this watch is it does have day and date. Now, when I used it on a daily basis, I found that it was a little bit tricky to see. I mean, we're doing a close-up here, but at certain times on my wrist, I looked at it and I had trouble reading it. I just wish that it was a little bit bigger, but I think the reason why they made it this small was just to keep with the clean aesthetics of this dial. So I think there was a reason behind it, but I just wish it was just a little bit bigger. But either way, it's just a nitpick, and you guys know that I have to nitpick something on a watch because no watch is perfect, and I want to give you guys my honest opinion. So let's take a look at some measurements, shall we? Now, according to the website, it says it's a 42 millimeter, but I always like to double check and not believe everything I read. And this watch is indeed a 40. It's more. Oh, okay. It is a 42 millimeter. The case thickness is an 11 millimeter. Okay. Now, if we include the crown with our measurement, we're like a 46 millimeter, just about 45 and a half. And if we go lug to lug here, guys, a lot of you have been asking me to go lug to lug. We're at a 48 millimeter. Now, I'm going to show it to you on a 7-inch wrist and show you how it wears. Let me go back a little bit here. So here's how it wears on a 7-inch wrist. And as you can see, it's got really good coverage of my wrist. I think it's actually the perfect size. I love 42 and 43 millimeter watches. I think that's my sweet spot. But for your wrist, it may be different. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. And then, of course, we take a look at the lug width. We are actually at a 22. Now let's take a look at this strap, because this is a Citizen issued strap. This is the strap that came with the watch, and it's got a little bit of thickness to it. It's got a really nice quality stitch to it, and you know what? It's got a real quality feel to it. I really like this strap. I think they really went a little bit above and beyond, because I like how thick it is towards the top where you need that rigidity, and then as it tapers down where you need the flexibility is where they actually gave you a thinner strap here. So I think this is a really well thought out design, and I think they really use quality leather here. That's really a highlight for me. And of course, you've got the Citizen, and it's actually embossed on the clasp itself, and this is also indeed the satin finish. So guys, at this price point, you can't go wrong with this watch. I love Citizen EcoDrives because you don't need to change the battery for at least 15-20 years. As long as you keep this watch charged properly and you don't damage the capacitor, you don't need to change, or should I say, you don't need to change the capacitor of this watch. This watch, and even to change one of these, it's going to cost you about $30. And when you're getting 15 to 20 years, well worth it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. And just one more thing, the crystal itself, as you can see, there's a little bit of a beveling to it. I don't think this is sapphire. I'm going to double check to see if it says. Usually, if it is sapphire, the company will indeed highlight that on their watch. At this price point, I don't expect sapphire, so I don't zap them on that. So this is a mineral crystal. And guys, if you enjoy this watch like I do, based on the picture, I wouldn't have gotten this watch, but since I saw it in person, I had to have it. So guys, don't hesitate. This price point of this watch is indeed worth it.
Please remember, there is always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other, and I'll see you next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews.